I'm Manuel Hernandez and welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're doing well and welcome to another video on my channel, another match preview. Norwich City have got the opportunity to win 10 games in a row. I don't think any of us could have imagined just how good it's been for Norwich City. I mean, if you look at the average points per game, they're expected to finish over 100 points. It's just absolutely magical and I'm absolutely loving football at the moment. In this video, it's going to be a match preview talking about the opposition, Blackburn Rovers. And then, of course, talking about Norwich City and going into the predicted lineup because Daniel Farke's got some big calls to make. And when you've got a selection issue like this, it shows just how positive things are going. When you're going to have to leave some really good players out of the team, and it just shows just how well the whole squad are playing. But let's start this match preview by looking at the opposition. And then we can talk about and marvel at just how good Norwich City are. And I will leave my socials in the description. And if you are new to Norwich City Central, please do consider subscribing for consistent match reviews, previews, and hopefully very soon, in August, 25,000 fans will be at the ground and we can record match day experiences again. But no, let's start by looking at Blackburn. And they're a really strange side. We played them earlier on in the season in December and we beat them 2-1. But I remember that day it being a very difficult game. I think Blackburn had a lot more of the ball than us and Norwich City had to play really well to win that game. And I think Pukki scored a brace that day. But since then, Blackburn haven't really kicked on. And I thought they'd be playoff contenders, but they haven't. They're sitting, bottom half of the table, in mid-table. And it's really surprising. I think they've only won one of their last 10 games. They haven't scored in their last two. They're struggling for goals. And it's really surprising because I think this Blackburn side have got the potential to do some really good things. They've got a very talented squad. Adam Armstrong's the third top scorer in the division. They've got Harvey Elliott, who could have a great career in football. And they've got some really other good attacking players. Bradley Dack's in there. Obviously, there's two ex-Norwich City players in Bradley Johnson and Tom Tribal on loan. And they've just got a lot of really, really good attacking players. But for whatever reason, they're struggling to score goals at the minute, which bodes well for Norwich. As I said, they've only won one in their last 10 games. So it's an excellent opportunity for Norwich City to go there and or go to Carrow and get another 3 points and continue this remarkable run. Norwich, 9 wins in a row. Who would have thought it? We lost to Swansea in February, at the start of February, and there was question marks about it being maybe a 3-horse race for promotion. But since then, Norwich have won 9 games in a row and look the best team without a doubt in the league. And you've got people like Ian Holloway and a lot of pundits saying this is one of the best championship teams they've seen ever, or certainly in a long while. That just shows how well this Norwich City side are doing. And look at all the setbacks we've had in September. Of course, we had Cantwell and Emi Buendia. It looked likely that they could leave, and Daniel Farke said there was attitude problems and whatnot. There's some real potential problems behind the scenes. But I remember thinking, as long as we keep Emi Buendia and Todd Cantwell and get them going, there's a good chance that Norwich City will start winning games. And we were excellent to do so, and it was excellent to keep them. And then in kind of November, December, we had so many injuries. Half our squad was injured, but we still managed to win games with lots of late goals. But since the turn of the year, since 2020, besides a tiny little patch of games where we didn't win like 2 or 3 games, which is definitely not a crisis, we've been electric and we've been deservingly winning every single game we've played. That's how good we've been. Timo Pukki, 11 goals in 9 games. That is a ridiculous stat. Emi Buendia, the top assist maker in the league, top chances created. But defensively, where it's been probably and maybe arguably the most impressive, I think we've conceded 7 goals in the last 15 games. Tim Krul's registered over, I think he's registered 15 or 16 clean sheets in 28 games. That is absolutely remarkable, and it's been built on a really good defence and just going forward being quite clinical and creating lots of opportunities. And obviously, when you've got your star man scoring goals up front and your star player in goal, defending them and then keeping clean sheet, that is a very good recipe for success. And consider both men at the top end of the pitch, Tim Krul and Pukki, cost nothing, which is absolutely remarkable. But yeah, Norwich City, 9 wins in a row. This is an opportunity to win 10 games in a row. And yeah, playing really good football, so fluent going forward, every player knowing their positions. It's just an absolute joy to watch. And when I'm watching Norwich, I can't wipe the smile off my face. They're playing that well. They're all disciplined and I'm all for it. In terms of the predicted XI, I will leave it on screen now. As I said, Tim Krul cost us nothing and is again a brilliant bit of business by Stuart Webber. He's been in remarkable form, and I've seen some statistics saying Tim Krul, I think is the only goalkeeper in English football to have a save ratio of over 80%. I think he's the only one in the terms of English football, which shows how important Tim Krul has been, and he's made some really critical saves, particularly in that November-December period where we had lots of injuries and we weren't playing our best football. Tim Krul kept us in a lot of those games, but since then he hasn't really been our player of the season because there's been so many other candidates who have been just outstanding. But Tim Krul's been excellent. A back four of Giannoulis, Gibson, Hanley, and Aarons, or Max Aarons, as people call him now. All of a sudden, Dimitri Giannoulis has come in and been absolutely outstanding. I think we've only conceded about 3 or 4 goals in the 8 or 9 games he's played. That's how good he's been, and he's really settled into the team. And that partnership of Gibson and Hanley at the back, they're our best 2 centre-backs. Ben Gibson, I can't wait for him to sign for Norwich for £8 million. I think that's going to be a fantastic bit of business, and I love how progressive he is on the ball. That back line's brilliant. Skip and McLean in the middle. What I love about Skip and McLean is just how mobile they are. Leitner and Tribal are good players, but particularly in the case of McLean and Skip, they're just so mobile, so good on the ball, and their partnership is absolutely outstanding. And yeah, I'm all for it. In terms of the front line, though, this is where the difficulties are for me because, of course, Emi Buendia missed the game on Wednesday in that 2-0 win over Forest due to his wife who gave birth. So congratulations to them. Maybe another future Emi Buendia playing for Norwich and all that, who knows. But of course, Buendia's got to come back into the lineup, and that means you've got to drop either Lucas Rupp or Kieran Dow. And for me, in that Nottingham Forest game, to quickly touch on that, they were probably our 2 best players. You know, he was playing so fluently. They were picking up so many intelligent positions in between the midfield and defence, and they were both excellent. So you're going to have to drop one of them, and I hate to say it, I think you've got to drop Lucas Rupp, and I know the Lucas Rupp Appreciation Society will not be liking that, but despite Lucas Rupp having his best game in a Norwich City shirt in that advanced number 10 role, I think Kieran Dow could potentially be someone who plays there in the Premier League for us if we get there, or maybe when we get there, more likely to say. He's got a lot of potential and he's still young. So for me, I'll go Cantwell on the left, who's been in great form at the moment, creating lots of chances. His left foot, his right foot are just wands at the moment. Kieran Dow through the middle in that number 10 role. And Emi Buendia on the right, and it's great to see Emi Buendia, who's expected to come back, and I'm sure he'll be able to create more chances for that main man up front. Timo Pukki, 11 goals in 9 games, 22 championship goals. Of course, 2 seasons ago now he scored 29 championship goals. If he scores 7 goals in his next 9 championship games, he's going to equal that record. And Timo Pukki won, I think, Player of the Season in the whole championship that year. So it's not out of the question that Pukki can do that. And for me, I'm not even sure if he's in our top 3 players this season. He probably is. I would probably go Buendia, Skip and Pukki, or Buendia, Skip and maybe Hanley. But that just shows how good the whole squad has been at the moment. And on that point, Lucas Rupp, Sorensen, Rancic are all going to be on the bench. And whenever they've come on, they've been outstanding. So this Norwich City team are full of confidence. Full credit to Daniel Farke because we look brilliant defensively, and going forward, we're an absolute treat. This Norwich City team are an absolute treat, and these next 9 games, don't worry about the Premier League. We can come to that in the summer. Just enjoy this beautiful style of football and this beautiful football, because they've given us some brilliant games in recent weeks. In terms of a score prediction, we look so good defensively. We look so good going forward. So it's going to be a Norwich 2, Blackburn 0. Pukki and Kieran Dow to get on the score sheet. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Norwich versus Blackburn. Let's hope Norwich City can make it 10 wins in a row, which will be a club record, I think, since 1985. So a chance for Norwich City to break more records and maybe get a step closer towards the title and that 106 point championship record. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to Norwich City Central if you're new, and I'll see you later.